Hey guys! Today we will be looking into the recap of the 2003 movie titled Radio. The Radio is based on the true life story of James Robert Kennedy, who got involved in a fatal accident that had an impact on his brain. It made him become more of a 5-year-old child than an adult. The movie opens in Anderson, South Carolina in 1976. In the woods we see the main character, Kennedy, known to people as Radio, who he is pushing a cart on a train rail. After some time, a train comes up behind him, but he is smart enough to leave the track while waving to the train like a small child would do. He afterwards is seen enjoying his fun as he climbs into the cart and turns it into a Ferrari ride. But soon we see Kennedy being despised by members of the community who apparently knows him to be a dummy. But he shouldn't be treated that way. But Radio, as he is fondly called, really does not care, and he moves on to find pleasure in viewing ball players. Harold Jones is the football coach and a hardworking man and a good family man whose ambition is to see his team succeed and at the same time to keep his family together. Later on in the movie we see him training with his team when a player mistakenly kicked the ball outside the training premises. Our man Kennedy is passing by, sees the ball, and guess what? He didn't throw it back at them. He picked the ball and dropped it into his cart, walking away like he didn't give a damn about what the player would do or was saying. Coach Harold, who has been picking interest in Kennedy, did nothing but give a smile. Later on, we see that the consequence of the dummy boy action, the players dealt badly with him by tying him and locking him up in the warehouse. The coach saw the cart of Radio and rescued Radio, who was very scared. The coach released him and the scared boy ran out of the warehouse. But he falls. That fall wasn't good. The coach was mad at the player and the player looked sorry. The school principal, who also knows Radio and what Coach Boys did to him, spoke to Coach Harold about Radio. A few minutes later, Radio is seen walking like usual, pushing his cart that contained the ball, log of wood and other trash. Coach Harold walked up to him. Fearful Radio quickly hands the ball to the coach, who says, "I don't want the ball." He apologizes and invites him over to his next practice. So kind of him. Radio walks away like usual without saying a word, but he is pretty cool with the coach. Radio actually accepted the offer and showed up at the next practice. Coach Harold is struggling to be a father to his daughter, and at the same time, he is concerned for the success of his football team. But Radio feels bad because he cannot join the happiness that follows the winning of Coach Harold's team at a match. Radio shows up again in Coach Harold's football training. The coach offers him water through a staff. He was very afraid, but the staff calmed him down. Coach Harold feels fulfilled when Radio drinks the water. Coach Harold invites him inside with the promise to buy him a hamburger. Radio is happy. In the office, he passionately fondles with the coach's Radio and enjoys the rest of his time in the coach's truck, where they both bond, and Radio agrees to come to the coach's training. The mother isn't sure if Coach is a nice man. Radio is introduced to the football team. He joins in the training, but some of the players didn't get along well with him. But in his innocence, he still helps other players get up on their feet when they fall, patting their helmet like your parents did for you when you were little. He happily mimics what the team does, and finally, he is in the stadium as an assistant coach for a match with a counter team. He enthusiastically jubilates, even though their team is being beaten by other teams. Radio already loves his new status as he has abandoned his Ferrari cart for the whistle. He passionately cheers the team up, telling them don't quit. He appears to be a good coach. The team crushed the next team they played with. The team appeared to be liking him as he has now become an important part of the team. The coach was curious about Radio, so he went to his mother, who was working on her garden. He asked for what really happened to Kennedy that made him who you see him to be. The mummy replied that the doctor gave no name for it, except that he is the same as everybody else, just a little slow than most. Radio's mother emotionally revealed that her husband is dead. And this is the first time Coach Harold really got to know his name as James Robert Kennedy, because Radio is the name everyone in the community calls him, because I think you already know that he loves Radio.